What is there? Deglazer. Cool. Alright guys, just jumping into it. Let's see, I think I put the links up, but just in case I didn't, let me just put up the links for the things that I'm using today. Looks like we're good on YouTube, looks like we're good on Twitch, and Facebook is still connecting. So give me a quick second, guys. What's good, everybody? Suhail back with Feel Good Threads. Hope everybody had a great week so far. Today I'm going to be working on a pair of blazers. So I got some blazers over here for Halloween. Do a real quick simple flip for you guys today. We're gonna just black out the back of these blazers here, and you guys could see the cobweb design, which is kind of dope. And the client had asked for a union colored yellow lace just to lace them out. So I always forget to shout out the shop. So these laces are available at shopfeelgood.com. These are union gold color laces is I think what we call them. And they are under the shoelaces section under Jordan 1 laces. All right, 63 inches is what we're using today for that. Just wanted to show some other laces that we do have in stock as well. This is, and I don't know if I'm not sure if I showed you guys this finished product or not, but this was my 85 version of the South Beach Art Basel. What were the two called? Igloo and Rust Pinks. I did kind of a union version of them, but made them look like old school. So even like the tags and stuff look old school. We've got these knit vintage laces as well, again at shopfeelgood.com. And then we just picked up some speckle print laces, which a lot of people are buying for the cement fours. What are they called? The UNC fours. A lot of people are buying these for the Oreo fours. So it's 4 season, and I think the speckle print looks pretty dope with all of those. So if any of these interest you guys, shopfeelgood.com is where you can pick all these up. Let me put these shoes and the speckle print, all these other laces and stuff to the side. I'm going to keep the union laces to the side because we're going to lace these guys up today. And we're going to try some Alpha Air airbrush paint. I haven't used this yet, so I'm excited to give it a go. A lot of people were asking me questions about, hey, is it is the paint airbrush ready? Is it do you hand paint it? Well, there's 2 different versions. So there's the Alpha Flex and there's an Alpha Air. So let me show you guys I think this is jet black. Yeah, both jet black. One is an Alpha Flex. One is an Alpha Air. So this guy is what we're going to use today. It says here water-based airbrush paint. We're going to be airbrushing it today. But if you want to use a brush, you can also get an alternative paint that Alpha 6 has. That's Alpha Flex. All right, so let's put the Alpha Flex to the side. I'm going to be using the airbrush, so I'm using Alpha Air for airbrush. I'm going to be using their stripper and deglazer for the first time. So that's how I'm going to prep this shoe. I'll be using sole tape as well. I'm actually really interested in seeing how this works. It's supposed to curve around edges really well. I've never used it, so it's my first chance using that. And I think we had one more thing. What else was there? No, I think that's it. I think that's the brunt of the products we're going to use. For the stripper and deglazer, I'm going to use just a couple of cotton balls because before we start to paint the actual shoe here, it could have had oil, dirt marks, anything. We're going to clean that all off. We're going to clean off the clear coat as well, all right? So before I start, I just want to say what's good, everybody. Customs by Kev back in the building. He's on YouTube. My homie Rainin is back in the building again. What's good, Alan? How you living? Webb's Custom Kicks, Patreon family in the building. What's good? Oh goodness, Alan up in here too. I love that you guys all know each other now, man. It's really cool to see the community grow, and we see the same usual suspects in here. So let's get started, man. Let me. Oh, these were my insoles that I had finished for those Union igloos. I don't know if I ever showed those to you guys, but these guys here. Let's put these down here. Belong to these guys right here. So I still got to sew up the insole part of it, but really I feel like a very retro vibe to it. You can see the plane like right in between here, taking off. Ships on the bottom, Miami Beach in the background, South Beach. So that was fun. All right, let me put this to the side, and I've got my airbrush here. Webbs, you asked a great question, man. What kind of deglazer is that? It is, this is by Alpha 6. So they sent me this the other day. I mean, they sent me a huge package, man. So shout out Alpha 6. They sent this stripper and deglazer and a bunch of different products. And like, I'll give you an example. See this? Flexible additive. I haven't used that yet. They gave me some water-based reducer. No clue how to use that or what it's for. Designed to be used as a thinner. Okay, cool. Reducer for Alpha Flex paints. Cleans up with soap and water. So anyways, yeah, that's why I'm trying this out. A lot of people keep asking about how do I like Alpha Air. I've never used it, so I can't give you an honest response yet. All right, I'm shaking this bad boy up real quick. Scrawny Johnny, what's good, homie? How you living? Scrawny Johnny in the building again, man. Patreon family. I don't know if you guys checked out the Patreon feed, man, but we've got another, for the Patreon members, we've got another gift basket coming up. It's going to be a gift bag, which is a travel bag for sneakers. Holds 5 pairs of sneakers. If you're in the giveaway tier for that, then you're going to just automatically qualify for it. If you guys haven't heard about the Patreon channel, it's basically a channel where we kind of do more upgraded projects. It doesn't necessarily need to be shoes, but just, you know, teaching different techniques, shortcuts, whatever I can do. As I learn, I try to teach those guys first. And this is, you know, just kind of introductory and basic stuff more like. So kind of the difference between the two. All right. Ooh, dropped the airbrush, y'all. That's not ever good. There we go. All right. So I think this is shook up nice. I'm sure they got a little cap on the inside, right? Yeah. This is my worst part here. I could barely get these off. Oh, this one kind of gave easy. Cool. So that's kind of what it looks like. There you can see it's very watery. It's definitely a lot more watery than the Alpha Flex paint. So that cap, I'm gonna toss it. And oh, ding myself. Try my best not to, but kind of hard. There we go. Cool. And then this is a 5-ounce bottle as well. So in case you guys want to know, it's 5 ounces. Let me try to move this camera up a little bit. I think we can get... Sorry, y'all. Just want to make sure that we get a good view here. Should have had this fixed beforehand. It's a little bit better, right? Cool. 5 ounces. I'm going to just drop this directly into the airbrush. Before we do that, though, we got to prep the shoe. So I think that shook up enough, man. I overdo it sometimes. So this guy here, I've never opened this up, but I did kind of pick this up. I should just kind of unscrew, I think. Oh yeah, dope, cool. And we got another cap in here. Let's see. Here we go. I hope I'm doing this right. I think I'm doing this right. Oh yeah. Cool. Got that off. Toss that, and let's get this bad boy prepped. Okay, so this got laces on it too, guys. So just we got to remember to, you don't have to because we're just doing the back tab today. But I usually like to take the laces out. I don't want overspray and stuff to get on the actual shoe. So let's go ahead and prep real quick. Just gonna grab a cotton ball and see if we can get, you know, ample amount of this preparing deglazer on there. And let's just run into it real quick. Yeah, definitely has a little bit of a smell to it, but that's because it's a stripper, right? It's gonna have some kind of chemicals. Just be careful. Use it in a ventilated area, I'd say. I'm sure that's what it says on the actual instructions there. So I got that one done. A little bit of yellow. It looks like a little bit of this yellowish green is coming off. Nothing too crazy. If you're new to this, just kind of want to, you know, be careful before you start on these kind of projects, because sometimes I've seen paint actually completely strip off. Sometimes it doesn't, so just kind of be aware of that right when you're starting. There we go. Sick. Cool. That's one cotton ball in. It was not too bad. And let me just go ahead and cap this guy here. Alright, put it to the side there. Cool. Let me just say what's good to everybody else. I know there's some people who just jumped on. John B, what's good? Let's see this paint work. Exactly, man. I hope everything works out okay, because you know, I'm sure everything's gonna work out okay, but trying new products sometimes gives me a little bit of anxiety, you know. Have any of you guys tried this sole tape yet? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on the sole tape. I know it's supposed to be for the sole, so I don't know how it's gonna work on this material. This material here is, you can hear it? It's kind of like scratchy fabric. So I'm going to try it. If it doesn't work, I might just get the regular masking tape. But surely worth a try. I got to pop it open anyways. I've got a green and a white, so if anyone's used either one of these, I don't know if there's a difference between the two. I don't know. Let's try white. Let me try this white out. If the white doesn't work, I might pop the other one open, but I think it might be the same stuff. So if you guys have used it, let me know. Webbs, I saw your comment earlier about that. Hopefully you win, bro. Good luck. I hope you win as well. I know some of the guys moved up to the giveaway tier after seeing that because they like the bag. And I think it's great because, well, I know you travel, Webbs, because you came down here to LA. But it's a great bag because it's also TSA compliant. Like, you can actually use that as a carry-on, which is kind of cool. All right, so I need some scissors here. Where did my scissors go? Oh man, this is such a mess over here. I have no clue where my scissors are at. Forgive me, guys. Give me a quick sec here. Where are your scissors? Ah, got some right here. Cool. All right. So let me just take a little bit of it and see how it works. Yeah, it's not working too well. So I'm not going to use the sole tape because when I'm airbrushing, I really want all of the corners to be like locked in and tight. And you can see here, like, you know, with a very easy pull, it's coming right off. Okay, let me try the other one. Let's see how that one works. It's a good piece. I'm going to recycle it here. But I could tell by the flexibility, man, it rounds really well. Watch. And that's a good thing for the soles because the sole is rubber. Yeah, that rounds really well. And it locks nicely. Well, since we got it here, let's see how it reacts when I touch it. It's not bad. I like that you can pull on it too. And you can shape it. So like when you're coming around a corner, you can pull and shape, press down. And the other thing too, if you notice, when you peel it off, there's no adhesive. So that's great. I hate cleaning off adhesive off of the soles. If you guys have to do that, if you have to tape a sole off, it's a really good idea to try to get that tape off as soon as possible. If you're keeping it there for like, you know, days or even weeks, that adhesive is going to start to just sit on top of the shoe, and it'll actually cling onto the shoe afterwards. So let's see if this one feels any different. Maybe it's just different colors. I don't know. Let me see if any of you guys know. GTC Reels, what's good, homie? How you living, Graham? Another Patreon fam. Rainin, let me know how you like that mermaid paint. I want to try that out. I haven't tried that out either. Haven't had a chance. I've been doing a lot of recon stuff, kind of in the background for you guys. Yeah, that feels very similar. I think this is the same tape. I like how it's locking. But the one thing I think you got to do is, once you got it locked, it's probably not that great of a tape to reuse afterwards, because you'll see that when I peel, like, say, this part off, it loses a little bit of adhesion. Let's see. Okay, so I could use that a second time. Third time. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, dude. Look at that. Third time. So a lot of the times I'll save tape. Like if the tape feels good and it doesn't have any creases, I'll save it because you can use it for another part of the project. All right. Anyways, let's move those guys to the side. I want to move those somewhere where they don't get all messed up. Cool. And I'll just grab regular masking tape. Yo, Speed Infusion. Later, bro. Legacy, what's good, bro? How you living? Dude, I got the maker to finally work, man. I am ecstatic, dude. I cut out a whole Jordan 1 pattern the other day. And you know what it was? That just because you know what issue I was having. On the maker, if you don't press weld, then it'll separate all of the pieces and tell you to do it on separate mats. You have to hit the weld button on the bottom right-hand corner on the maker. And that'll help you guys. It'll look at all of the objects, and then they'll just put it on one mat. So just for anybody who was watching the last stream when we were working with that Cricut maker and cutting out the patterns, that was the issue I had last time. Like, why is it asking me to cut out or get like 6 mats prepared, and it was just cutting like one object on each mat? I didn't want that. That would waste a lot of material. And so I figured out, because of one of the guys from our Discord group, he recommended, he said, you need a weld. Weld puts everything together on one mat, and then that way you won't have that issue. And sure enough, it was just one little thing I didn't realize. But then I'm new to Cricut Maker, so it's all good. That's how you get better, right? You learn as you go. All right, so this material that I'm masking up, it's not really it's not one of the best materials to mask up. I mean, no matter what you use, it doesn't adhere with tape very well. So I'm just gonna try my best to get in all the corners. See here? Like that looks. You're gonna paint right there. You're gonna get paint in there. So you got to cover those little spots up as much as possible. Try to get nice clean lines. So the thing about airbrushing, if you're new or trying to get into airbrushing, is your tape job is absolutely clutch. You really want to make sure that when you're taping things off, all the contours, like these corners here, they look nice and clean. And the easiest way to recognize if they look good is you have to follow the tape line. Wherever this tape line is going to be at, that's what is going to get painted or not painted. So make sure your line looks nice and straight. So far here looks good. I'm using my nail to kind of tuck it underneath the material. So then that way I can really get all the way in the corners of this green here, okay? Also what that's doing is, as the masking tape isn't really the best for this material, it's helping it clench on a little bit more than if I didn't do it. So same thing here. You see I just kind of overlapped it here. This tape, I'm going to tuck it now inside with my nail. And that'll get me the nicest and cleanest contour. So a lot of people ask me, like, how come your sock liners are so clean? You never have overspray on them. And it's because I use this method. Alright, so I've got a little bit more to do. Let's get that top sock liner. The sock liner can be a little difficult because you can see it's kind of curving, right? So if it curves, and we're working with this masking tape that doesn't really curve a lot, you want to just be real careful with how you lay it down. So laying it down on a surface where it doesn't move, right? And now what I'll literally do is just follow this line and try to contour it exactly the same way. Alright, so I feel like that looks pretty good. Then I'll use my nail again, same thing. Just trying to get like a nice lock. You know, you're really trying to achieve a clean lock. And in general, this is what I think a lot of people might miss when they're doing sock liners. It's trying to achieve a nice lock. So I'm going to go around. You notice I'm not like really pulling this. It's just kind of loosely there, forming it. Just trying to get it where there's no pressure. Got one more piece there. Yeah, legacy. Attach button, exactly. That was the other button that they were saying. Is to attach button would do the exact same thing on the maker. So as I learn and I figure out this maker, man, I'm going to be doing tutorials on that as well. But you know, I'm not going to just start prematurely. I got to learn it. I got to master it. Alright, so that's pretty close. Looks good. Sometimes I'll see that I make a little error here and there, but you know, you're going to have to clean up regardless. So if you're not perfect with this, or it seems difficult to you, just practice. You'll get the hang of it. I'll tell you, this is probably one of my least favorite parts though. I don't like taping, man. Taping's boring. It's like I want to just get to the actual project. Alright, so that's, I don't think I'm going to really get much better than that. Again, if I got to clean up at the end, I can clean up with the Alpha Flex black too, you know? Just getting in the little crevices and cracks there. Pretty close. And again, we're blacking this thing out, so it's not like I'm going to be adding red onto this green or something. It's going to be the same color as this outer part that we're masking off. So even if I get a little black on it, it's going to just blend in pretty well. I'm probably being like overly particular here about this, but you know, it's a client's shoot, so I got to make sure it's done correctly, and I got to get it done like by Thursday. So the better I tape off here, the less I'm gonna have to clean up later, and that's the ideal situation. If you can, you know, get really good with this tape jobs, then you don't have to worry about really cleaning up much. That'll save you a lot of time. Just a couple more spots here. Alright. That was a real lazy tape job, that last one. There. So I'm going to concentrate when I airbrush not to really hit, you know, the inside of these pockets here. Never try to point my airbrush directly into it. I might have to skim by it though, because obviously we got to cover, right? Cover all the corners here. Alright, so that's kind of ideally where I'd be at when I get this to go. Now, additionally, people will put, you know, either a paper towel, show you guys, something like this. That way you don't have to keep using masking tape. Paper towels are obviously, you know, cheaper to use. So that you can wrap it and contour like this. And just add a little bit of masking tape on both sides. And then this should be good enough where, you know, if you're a decent person when it comes to airbrushing, you should probably not have any overspray at this point. So you don't have to cover the whole shoe. We're just really just doing this back heel. Alright. Again, I'm going to just lock this in here. Doesn't need to be perfect. Again, I'm just trying to protect what's around it. So this would be like an ideal situation for me to just paint this back tab. All right, so I'm gonna repeat that step real quick. I think you guys are good right here, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and put that down. Anthony Amos, what's good, homie? Welcome, man. Soul Tape also available at Alpha 6 Corporation, bro. You know, I think I left the link for you guys. I'll leave it one more time because I know people ask even after the stream. If you use my discount code, I think you get 10% or 15% off. So it's right there. It'll be the, not the first link, it'll be the second link. It says get the paint. Right after that, if you look at Alpha 6 Corporation, use code FEELGOOD for a discount. All right, so that one's good to go. Let me, what's this streaming platform? Oh, sorry, Anthony, I just read the question. I saw your name. I wanted to say what's up. Right now, if you're asking what platform I'm using for streaming, I'm using Restream. And what Restream does is it streams to all my other social media networks. So right now we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook as well. So Webb's Customs, I was walking and slug just fell in shoe. Oh, man, that's pretty gross. Oh, I haven't seen a slug around here for a minute, man, which then, yeah, slugs aren't the prettiest little things, are they? We do have a coyote running around our neighborhood, though, which is kind of awkward. Animal control can't get him. It's been 2 days, dude. It's like Lloyd and Harry came out here for 2 days. Every morning, coyote just walking around. I'm like, bro, how are you still around here? This guy's surviving. Alright, it's the same here. Again, I just leave a light overlap. If you guys get good at it, you can really just eyeball it. Like this. And then really quickly, you can identify where that the curve is with your finger to contour it and run through. Okay, so I'm going to run through this one real quick because the last one I know I was probably explaining stuff to a lot of you guys that are like, bro, this is not elementary. But if you're new to the channel and you know you're starting to get interested in customizing, this will be a great tutorial for you. And if you're not, if you're an expert or you're a novice and you're chilling, that's great too, right? Everybody welcome. All right. So now I'm gonna break this into just smaller pieces. Breaking it into smaller pieces for the curves is pretty ideal, because that way you don't have to contour too many things. Bam. Same thing with the top here. I'm holding it and just curving all the way around the sock liner. You see that? How quick that is with one piece of tape. So you can still contour with pretty long pieces of tape here. Cool. And I got a little tape left over. When I have that, I just look for any smaller gaps I could fill. Alright. So I try my best to keep all of this green part exposed today, just because I want to try to really get in those corners and nooks. But if you have a complete color change and you don't want that paint to get on here, you got to really do a good job of taping this off, okay? You don't want to have a bunch of overspray on spots you don't want. Alright, so that's done. Let me get another napkin real quick. Bam. Set it up. You'll see I'll put it around the whole shoe. Tuck this underneath. Wrap this on the bottom. There you go. Plenty of ways to do that. I just feel like that's probably the most organized way. Good. One more time. It's got suede on it, so I'm going to try to cover that suede. I don't like adhesive tape getting on suede. Probably won't do anything, but I don't want to risk that, so Second one done. Let's get this airbrush started, y'all. Okay, so I already shook the airbrush up, so we should be good. Let me just make sure that, I think I got most of the comments answered here. Just finished up a pair and halfway done with another. Hopefully they impress. Alan, you're doing great, bro. They'll definitely impress, man. Johnny said tag him too. Tag me too. I think you already tagged me anyways. I got a 9-pair order for a company in Chicago. Johnny, I feel you on that, man. That sounds like a lot of work, but it sounds like a good amount of money, man. And success. That's awesome. Art by Art Creates. I definitely made that mistake before. Adhesive tape on suede. Yeah. Especially if you leave it on there for days, man. I feel like the hairiness of the suede and the adhesive really can melt into one another, and that's not fun to try to take that off, you know. So all right, just missed a little spot there. All right, airbrush. I'm using an Iwata HPCS. I know a lot of you guys on the stream say, man, he tells me this every single time, but if you're new, this is a beast of a airbrush. Costs about 130, I want to say 125, 130 bucks. I don't know how much it is now, but I got this one about 6 months ago, so I'm assuming it should still be the same price. And then I'm using a compressor, which is like a motor that motorizes through this line here to push out air, push out paint, whatever we need today, all right? Nice and clean. I just cleaned it all out. Always want to make sure that you can test this out. So I usually grab a little acetone, put it in there, and then I will take an airbrush. I mean, not airbrush, a paper towel, and just make sure that I could see a spray pattern that's coming out clean. So that's coming out pretty clean. Let's drop that to the side. All of that acetone is out, and let's work. I think black is probably one of the safest colors to work with here. I can't really mess up black, I think. All right, so let's jump into that first one here. Let me grab my Liquid Kicks little easel. Where did that thing go? Oh man, things are never around when I need them. Okay, let's just jump into it. So I'm gonna do real light, okay? Left and right, left and right. You notice how far away I am when I'm doing it? I'm not like real close. When you're too close, that's when you can potentially have that paint bleed onto the other parts and get overspray. So I tend to just do it nice and slow, relaxed. Especially on the first coat. Something like that, you know, where you can still see through the paint. We can clearly see what color it was. And I just got some coverage on it. Now you notice, like, look at the corners here. You see the corners? They're still a little bit more green. Look at that top corner. They're more green than the actual middle section. So sometimes what I'll do, PSI is at 40, Johnny. Great question. Yeah. Art by Art Creates says Alpha Air is legit. So you've tried it before. This is my first time trying it. If you just joined, man, welcome. Oh, you got an Eclipse yesterday? It was 150? Webs? Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And Art by Art Creates, what's good, man? Sorry, I just saw you say what's up, bro. A lot of people on YouTube today, man. This is what I was going to mention. Now, we've got that coverage kind of right there in the center. Now what I like to do is just make sure I give a light coat all the way around in the corners, okay? Before I do that, I like to make sure that all of the corners are like kind of locked and sealed, because a lot of times as you're moving the shoe around, or maybe, you know, the adhesive just kind of fell off a little bit, it's weakened a little bit, I like to just kind of put it right back into place, because you might miss spots because of that, and then you're gonna have to touch up more. I'd rather just really make sure that tape's locked in and try to get the best coats around the edges too. See that? You could already see as I'm pushing the tape in, the spots that I've missed there. See that? So same thing here on the top. Got to just be real light with it. Make sure that there's no jagged edges here or overlapping. Looks all clean there. And now I'll go ahead and hit the corners. I'll come in a little bit closer, and like I told you before, I'm not going to hit directly into it with a bunch of paint. I'm going to just do a nice light coat inside of there. Something like that, okay? Even if it's a little bit darker, it's all good. They're going to blend in all together at the end anyways. Notice how I'm moving the shoe to get the angle that I want. So that's I would say pretty good round right there. You now actually the corners look a little bit darker than the middle. Okay, so people do it one way or the other. They sometimes start with the corners first. Sometimes they start with the middle first. I just chose to do the middle and then the corners. So really up to you on your preference there. Again, they're gonna all blend in hopefully at the end, so you won't see any of a difference between the two. All right. So now that you guys saw what I just did there, I'm gonna jump into the exact same thing here, but without the instruction. Okay, so we could just speed up. One thing I should warn you guys is sometimes I'll do this. I'll jump into the second shoe and not notice where this shoe is at. Always a good idea to try to keep the other shoe kind of away. You don't want to have like unnecessary overspray on it. So that's my mistake. Rookie mistake. Some people have, what are those things called that spin? Lazy Susans, I believe that's what it's called. And so you can just put the shoe on there and spin it around as you're airbrushing. So that's something you guys might want to look into. I just prefer to do it by hand like this, just because I feel like I have a little bit more control of where I can move the shoe around. Liquid Cakes also has an easel that I use. You know, sometimes I like to use both hands when I'm airbrushing. So when I airbrush, I like to keep it on a platform where, you know, it's kind of propped up. I can move it in different sections. Either way, stationary or mobile, you can do this. Just hitting the corners one more time, just because I noticed that I didn't secure the tape that well on some spots. Alright, so let's chillax for a little bit, man. Let's give this a little bit of time to dry. Some people will, you know, hit it with a heat gun. I've seen some people hit it with a hair dryer, but, you know, for me, I just like to naturally let it settle in. Again, that's why I like to do a light coat. The light coat is kind of what gives this paint an opportunity to really cling on to the shoe. All right. If it's too heavy, then you're going to get a big, you know, blotch of paint that might scratch off or crack. So that's where a lot of people have cracking issues. Is they're adding too much paint at one time, and when you do that, you're leaving yourself susceptible to like a cracking shoe later on. You know. So again, you guys don't know how many times I've seen in my inbox, yo man, my toe box keeps cracking, or, you know, it's cracking in the same section over and over. I've fixed it several times. It's usually because of either preparation was like not clean enough, like you didn't do a great job on prepping the shoe. You left either the clear coat still on the shoe because you didn't prep it, or you painted the coats too heavy, or the last situation is that item shouldn't be painted. Like, for example, you know, I've seen some materials, for example, like 3M reflective. It's not a really good candidate to paint, but some people will paint it anyways and then wonder how come their, you know, the 3M reflective keeps cracking. It's because 3M doesn't have that that structure for this paint to hold on to it. Same thing with soles. People paint soles and then they're like, yo, why is my soles all cracking on the bottom and the sides? It's because rubber doesn't take well with this acrylic paint. I mean, it's just, there's no bond for it. Looking kind of brownish now compared to the actual shoe. Y'all see that? And that's the second coat in. So I'm going to do the same thing here with this one. You guys notice right now I'm not even hitting it with nothing but air. Like if you're going to try to dry it naturally, this is probably the best thing to do. Just hit it with air. Oh, nice, man. Art by Air Creates. They send you a care package as well. That is awesome, dude. I got to check it out, man. If you could do me a favor, send me a link. I'd love to see your work, man. So really just kind of honing in here. Just trying to get some coverage. It's looking like those, I forgot what the name was, of the Jordan 1s that came out that kind of had that antique look, that rust look, brownish. I think they didn't do that well. Things still sitting at around retail. What are those joints called? Okay, got you. Sent it on IG. Perfect, man. What's the name of those shoes, guys? Somebody knows what shoes I'm talking about? They have that antique, rusted look on the back end, the Jordan 1s. Somebody got to help me with that name. It's going to bug me. All right, so I'm out of paint. So y'all see how much I used there. It was about a quarter of the cup. It was like right about there. Jordan 1 patina. Thank you, Johnny. I knew you'd know. I've seen a lot of people customizing those because they were just a cheap base too. Well, cheap meaning like retail or close to retail. Second round, guys. So far, I haven't added anything but just the Alpha Air, okay? You like that shoe? People had mixed reviews on it. I think it just didn't have the hype to it. If you had, you know, the marketing for it, I think it could have been a much more hyper shoe. Really cool that they did that kind of an age look. Kind of funny what people gravitate to nowadays, though. It's like a third coat in there, okay? Again, still light. This one I could see it's brownish, like a chocolate. So it definitely needs more coverage. Again, looking at spots like this, see here? I could see that it wasn't rounded. It's kind of still more straight. Got to push it in and down. Now I'm just going to hit it with some air. The reason I'm hitting it with some air is because I was getting to that point where I could see a little bit of wet spots. And ideally you don't want to see any wet spots when you're all complete. You want it to be nice and flush like this, see? I really like the way the sheen looks right here. Let me put this down real quick. Show you guys side by side there. So right now I'm about 45 minutes in. That's with obviously telling you guys instructions. I'm wondering if it's going to get a little bit darker. Let me go ahead and put these down real quick. And all right, y'all. Any questions on this so far? I think we're kind of getting to the point of finalizing these. A lot of people like to hit this with like a really heavy coat or two at the end. I don't know. I don't do that. You know, I feel like the amount of paint that I was adding on here, it's been covering like nicely. We're probably now on our 4th coat, I'd say, of this black using the Alpha Air. And I just wanted to note something because this Alpha Air, it's thinner than its counterpart, the Alpha Flex, because I've used the Alpha Flex. This Alpha Flex, it definitely has more of a thickness to it. And that is going to help this guy here cover these faster. So I could probably knock this out in like 2 or 3 coats with the Alpha Flex. I'm jumping to the 4th coat now of Alpha Air. And that's not a bad thing. It's just the way that we're applying the coats is different, right? Like you're using a brush with this guy here, and so then that way you can actually cover quite a bit more if you have a thicker paint. This one here, if you want it to be airbrush ready, it's got to be thin. There's no real way to get it through the airbrush if it's not thin enough. Okay, sometimes the tip here will dry when you're painting, so you got to make sure that it's nice and clean. So sometimes I'll just use my nail and make sure that it's not being blocked. If that's being blocked, no paint's going to come out, you know what I mean? So I've got a good amount of paint still in here. And so let's go ahead and hit this one more time. And then what we can do is we can unwrap it and see what it looks like. Let's move this guy over a little bit. Oh, you know what? This masking tape. Nice and easy to do it like that. Oh yeah, it's definitely getting more darker. Now we're getting more to a true black. So with the airbrush, it's just giving a nice mist right on top of the panel there, versus us brushing it back and forth, up and down or side to side. So you can see that the finish here on an airbrush, you don't have to ever worry about like any kind of a brush or paint stroke being inside of your paint job there. That's the pro about this, is once you get everything taped up nicely, man, an airbrush can save you a lot of time. It's just you got to get your tape skills up. All right, so let's compare this guy here. I just did this one here to this one here. I don't know if you guys can see that in the camera or not. Let's see if I can put it up a little bit. But you can see on this left shoe here, it definitely has a little bit more of a chocolate tone to it. It's like a brownish black, versus this one being almost like a true black now at this point. All right. So again, light coat. You know, I know I could have done it heavier, but a lot of times I get like lazy and I do it heavy like that. It starts to creep inside that tape and bleed and stuff. So that's one of the reasons why I don't do that. Let me just jump into this hopefully last coat here. Now I'm seeing another true black effect here. Now I'm trying to get into the top sock liner as well. Really solidify a nice solid black here at all angles, so shouldn't be missing an angle where one section looks brownish. It should be looking nice and black. See, it's got a nice satin black to it too. The way it's kind of, I hope it almost like settles right here. That'll be awesome. No, I didn't spray any adhesive, John B. I just went ahead and added the alpha air inside the airbrush and just hit it. And I haven't done a durability test yet on alpha air yet. So Customs by Kev, that's a great question. Anybody, has anyone done a durability test on alpha 6 paint at all? I'm still new to the brand, so as I'm using it, you know, obviously I'm looking to see if the quality looks the same as my other brands, but I also want to make sure that it's durable. So anyone have any feedback about durability, I'd really appreciate it. So far my customers haven't said anything, which is cool. And a lot of times I'm using different paints, so you know, this isn't the only paint I'm using, but right now, I mean, it's been serving its purpose very well, so I'm using it. They do have, John B, you mentioned if I had used any adhesive, they do have this flexible additive. So I think maybe, you know, if that's for like a plastic piece like Jordan 4 wings and stuff like that. Extender and mixing medium for fabric and leather painting. Oh, okay. So it's for fabric and leather painting where flexibility is needed. So yeah, I could have used this. Mix with acrylic paint or other acrylic mediums to increase gloss and flexibility. So it looks like it's also a glossier finish at the end. Thin with water or for best results with Alpha Flex Reducer. Okay. Again, you know, new product, interesting. I got to test it out. Everything's, you know, but then again, that's what customizing has been for the last however long I've been doing it, is me testing out products and then choosing the best products that I could find. You know what I mean? I never want to compromise my product's quality or durability for my customers' shoes. I mean, no matter if I get it for free or if I got to buy it, whatever it is, like I try to use the best products, you know. And over the years, there has been product after product kind of trumping one another, you know, trying to beat one another, which is, I guess, great for us, right? That LK primer is the best thing since sliced bread. I've been putting it on everything. Thanks for the, oh, no problem, man, of course. Dude, LK's products is another, you know, like, the, you know, they sent me that package and I use their brand. It's the only brand that I'm using for, you know, finishing all of this off. I'm actually going to use it for this, you know, once I'm done with the sealers or the paint all drying and everything. So I'm glad you liked it, man. What are you using it on, Customs by Kev? Do you just drop it on everything before you customize? Or are you doing certain parts of shoes? Let me know. All right, this is like my last and final coat. And I only do this just because, like I told you guys prior, I don't do heavy coats. And what I do here is I really just concentrate, again, just on the corners and the center. So I'll get a corner, one more hit on the corner, 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 and then hit the center. And again, you know, that's just like what you guys are asking about durability. You know, I'd rather have it be a couple of more layers on there and then seal it all off, because once I lock it with the LK sealer with this any of the scratch resistant products that they got, I want to make sure that it's fully covered before I do that. All right, so let's go ahead and untape this. Let's see how I did. If I can ideally keep this shape, that would be great too, because I've got one more pair to do. Sometimes, like I told you guys, I recycle tape. So now what I'll do is I'll very carefully take this one off as much as I can in the same shape if possible. See, you'll see I didn't move the actual shape of this. And I'll put this to the side. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other one here. Clearly missed a lot of spots here on the bottom. See that? Even with trying to tape it well. So let's go ahead and take this one off as well. Little bummed about the result there, but you know, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to clean up something. So I'm used to that. All right, that came off. I got some of the suede. Sucks. I didn't see that I got this suede. This is exactly why I don't like to get on suede. Look at how hard it is to take off. See that? It even pulls off some of the hairs. It's not noticeable, but you know, it pulls it. All right, so let's check out the results here. All right, so you can see here, clearly I missed spots there. Top of the sock liner missed there. I missed a good amount of spots. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, again, I didn't expect it to be perfect because, like I said, I just try to get it as close as I can. Now we got two different options. We can either get the Alpha Flex jet black paint, which is this is the hand painted one, right? And I can just get on all the little corners there. Or if you're really good and you're really comfortable with the airbrush, you can do this free-handed. So I'm going to try that first. All right, so it's the same paint. And what I'm going to do is just try to open this up a little bit. See? When you open it up, you can really see how much of the green we missed. All right? So I'll open it up and then I'll try to shoot as accurately as I can there. In this situation, because we got black on black, it's not going to show. I'm going to stand up for this guy so I can see at a little bit better of an angle, okay? All right, so hopefully you guys can see a better angle there for it too. So again, I'm going to push this in with my index finger, push it out like this, and with my thumb, I'm also going to press this out so I can catch all of the inside lining there. See, now you're really trying to hide any of that green. And the thing is, you got to get it exact, because when you got a color like black and lime green right next to each other, it's going to pop. I'm going super light on the airbrush here, guys. I'm not trying to add too much paint, so I'm barely pulling this trigger back. There it goes right now. Y'all saw how minimal that paint was? It's just enough to creep in that little corner that we need. So I'm going to do it again. Again, it's black on black, so I can do this. If we had a red sock liner and you're doing a black paint job here, it's not smart. You want to do that by hand, because otherwise you're going to start to see that the red sock liner will start to get blackish. All right? I'm looking at the brush. I could feel that it's not coming out right. Paint's kind of stuck. So I'm just going to use my nail here and clear off anything in the front, okay? Again, if you don't feel comfortable doing this, you can always hand paint it. But now you're starting to see the whole thing's kind of murdered out there, right? Alright, so let me jump on this other one here, because we got the same situation going on. I've got bits and pieces all on the bottom here that were not taped up well. I've got this corner here, the top head sock liner here. Got some spots. Again, I've got gray webs here, so you don't want to get too close to the webs. We're staying real tight. It's all about angles here, guys. You really want to try to get inside of that little nook. So I'm trying to angle it, and at the same time, I'm trying to be as accurate as possible with the airbrush here. Just blowing a little bit of air. Want to get that wet spots to dry real quick. I think I'm pretty much done here. This looks like it might be 3M, so I got to be real careful with that. One last finalizing coat. I think that looks good, guys. Whew. Another one bites the dust. Here's the finished product, Al. That looks very Halloween-like. Way better than that green, I think. Well, that green actually works pretty well, too. Kind of like Frankenstein, right? Alright, so let's lace these bad boys up. As that's drying, I'm going to just unlace these, and we're going to add the Union Gold color laces to them. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm obviously available. It doesn't need to be about this actual custom, y'all. It can be about anything. About your life goals. I know you got life goals, right? So I gotta put it through this little tongue slot. I always forget that, man, I swear. Pass it right up. So what's that on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hole? I gotta remember that. Man, Sadir, that's a good question, bro. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen the trailer for that. Is that with that dude, Robert Pattinson? Is he Batman this time around? I heard he was getting a lot of flack for it. And welcome, bro. I'm glad to see you back. You've been silent the whole time, dude. You gotta say what's up. All right, so that's done. Let's crack this open. I love cracking a new pair of laces and getting them all sealed up on the shoe. All right. It's dope color. I love the Union Gold color. Right? It's a very popular colorway, for sure. All right. That's funny, man. I got to check that trailer out, man. I'm actually a huge Batman fan, and so is my son. He's only 3, but we're about to paint his room, and he said Batman theme, so I'm doing Batman. These actually look very Batman-like now when I put these in. Pretty nice little colorway they selected, I think. Yeah, did he have to get pretty swole for that movie, I'm sure. Because the last Batman, I think, was Ben Affleck, right? And they were giving Ben Affleck a lot of flack for being Batman as well. Because they said that he didn't fit that same description of like a billionaire Bruce Wayne. Here's a good question for you. Who's your favorite Batman out of all the Batmans that have been in movies? There's so many classic Batmans out there. And when I tie these, I don't want to tie them too tight. I'm really picky about my lacing. Y'all can see I don't even like to have these guys like this. I hate that they have this little thing. I gotta have them be like perfect when I lace them up. How many of you guys are like that? I'm sure there's a lot of you like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 6. Okay, cool. So it should go in here now. I'm not gonna forget it. There we go. Side note, guys, that LK scratch resistant sealer, I feel like, you know, even though we haven't really tested Alpha Air as a product yet, the way it's reacted so far to the leather looks pretty natural to me. The last thing I'm going to do is seal it, and when I seal it with the LK scratch resistant sealer, I have a lot of confidence in that product. So I think that will help out a lot, in durability wise at least. Some long laces, huh? These are the same ones that go on the Jordan 1, so if you like the color, let me know. We're also working on trying to get the off-white Dunk, the Lot 50. We're going to be getting replacement laces for those guys too, so I'm excited about that because a lot of you guys have been asking, when are you getting those laces in? And it was not easy to source those because they are rubberized tips. I don't know if you guys know that or not. Alright, so I'm trying to make this look as similar as the OG pair here. Go. How do they do this? They just leave it in here and tie it. I never learned how to do this little factory knot that they do. Let's try it out. Before I do that though, let me just make sure that these have the right spacing. See how much extra there is here? I'll pull it up just to give it a nice clean look. You see how this is? The black ones, they have an even spacing. They're not too tight. They're definitely not choking. Blazer is a very classic silhouette, you know, so laces should look right for him too. Alright, so that looks pretty good. His voice is already better than that Bale did, and that's been parodied to no end. That's funny. And Keaton, man, a lot of people say Keaton, man. I think I might have to agree with that. You didn't like Christian Bale, huh? That's interesting. I like Christian Bale as an actor, man. In general, he's a dope actor. He's been in a lot of dope movies. Let's see how I can. I'm looking at this thing. I don't think I'm gonna know how to lace it up that way. I'm just leaving these joints in here like this, but figure that out later. Nobody wants to see me trying to figure out how to lace factory laces like that right now. There we go. Cool. So that's the look here. Top view. Side view. Mirrored out in the back. Yeah, Sadir, I agree with you on that. Christian Bale definitely looked like a billionaire, a billionaire Batman for sure. Like especially in the scene where like they're in some kind of a event, you know, like one of those royal looking events, and he's there. They portrayed him really well, and I think that he did a great job just acting as Bruce Wayne for sure. Just cleaning up a little bit here. That looks good. Yeah, I like the way this all came out. Got just a little bit underneath here. Just trying to be careful not to hit that 3M little strip on the bottom. Sick. Alright, y'all, so I think this tutorial's a wrap, man. At the end, I wait for this to dry for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you know, really get itself situated with the shoe. And then after that, I'm going to hit this guy with some LK Shoes matte. Should I do matte? I think I'll probably do satin. Do they have a satin here? Let's see. They definitely have a matte. Oh, factory. I think they use... the satin is kind of like a factory. So I'll hit it with this factory top coat here. Again, I believe I put the link on those quick links, but let me just shoot that to you guys one more time. Let me see if it's on there. Let's see. Yep, the last link, guys, scratch resistant sealer. You can see that, and again, you can use my discount code. It's feel good. Superman lover, what's good, Patreon fam? How you living, man? You literally caught us at the tail end, homie. We're just finishing up. I just used this Alpha Air. Where's this Alpha Air paint? Alpha Air for the first time. So far, so good. This is the final result of it. Looks very Batman-like. It's funny. That kind of stealth, black and yellow. I'm glad to hear, man. Glad to hear you're safe, bro. So, guys, time is 7:46. I'm gonna give you guys 5 minutes to ask any questions, any last comments. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I always forget to mention that. Hit that like button. Comment on the stream. Did I do something that I could have done differently? Let me know in the comment section. I appreciate you guys for that. Patreon family, I told you guys already, we've got another giveaway coming up. I'm just waiting for Alex to finish up editing the last video, which is the Wu-Tang Killer Bee dunks that I did. It's an in-depth tutorial on how to get detail. We call it the art of detail. So if you'd like to join us and you haven't on Patreon yet, it's the link should be, or it's not up here right now, but it's patreon.com/feelgoodthreads. All of our social media is generally up there. It's not there right now. I don't know if it's disappeared the whole session. I have no clue. But yeah, please join us. Oh, there they go. Now they're up. There goes Twitter right there, Feel Good Threads. Instagram is Feel Good Threads LA. YouTube is Feel Good Threads. Facebook is Feel Good Threads. I think we got that covered. Everything else, Twitch is Feel Good Threads. Yeah, guys, please give me any comments and feedback so I can help improve your guys' stream. I want to shout out some people that I haven't shouted out for quite some time. Webb's Custom Kicks is our top donator. We got a lot of people who have donated. I really, really appreciate you guys for doing so, because every time you do, we get new equipment, we got new projects to work on, and I try to get you guys leveled up in the custom game, man. I think it's really, really, we're really appreciative of that trade-off, you know. So if you guys haven't already, and if you guys would like to donate, there is a super chat that's on YouTube. You guys can hit that super chat button and donate $1, $2, $5, 50 cents, whatever you got. It's all love. If you want to donate the other way, I just sent you guys a link up there. It says like my work and want to support. All donations are greatly appreciated. And there's a link right below that at streamlabs.com/feelgoodthreads. I think I'm done running my mouth. So if you guys have any questions, again, please feel free to hit me up right now. I'm just kind of getting stuff prepared for the second. I have a second pair that I got to finish by tonight, so then I can ship them out by tomorrow. So let me know if you guys have questions. Sorry, bro, was adding some things to my paint room. They look dope as always. Bro, you never have to be sorry when you come join us here, bro. You know, you're always welcome, man. So you guys get your questions in order. I got a couple of more minutes. I got to unbox the exact same pair of shoes again. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with them, because I got to start on them now. So, fun times. The good thing is I got that first pair done. Paint feels good and looks good. Now we can work on the second pair. Usually I like to do that. I like to just do one pair at a time if I don't know, or if I'm not familiar with the products. For the sole tape, we'll try to use that next time when we're taping off some soles. Be a little bit more of an appropriate tutorial. Let's go. The goats. It looks like a bigger size. It sure looks like a bigger size. Let's see. What are these bad boys? Size 11s. Yeah, these are probably bigger than these for sure. Oh yeah. What's that other box? I don't know. This is probably a size 8. I bet. There we go. Cool. Do you have any luck hitting on the sneakers app? Man, that's a great question, dude. I think a lot of people have been really frustrated over the last year with the sneakers app. The Lot 50 for Off-White, they were supposed to do some kind of a fair, exclusive access for a lot of people. And I think a lot of people, including myself, I feel like, damn, dude, like I spent a lot of money at Nike every week. Every week we're looking at new releases. I don't know if there's a fair way for them to generate an exclusive access for everybody, but I think that they're working on trying to improve their sneakers app system, because I think that right now the Confirmed app by Adidas seems to be a little bit more fair with the process. Who knows? I don't, nobody can say what's right and what's wrong, especially because there's a lot of variables. You got to think about every release has a different amount of pairs of shoes. There's different hype behind different releases. Every Travis Scott and Off-White release, it's going to be next to impossible to cop that versus like if you were trying to get a pair of Blazers, you know what I mean? It's so yeah, I mean, I do have luck with the sneakers app. I'm not going to lie, Sadir. You know what? Since we're here, I'll tell you right now, what was the last pairs of shoes that I've actually scored on the sneakers app. And then I also do use more than one device. So for those of you that are just, getting into the sneakers app game or whatever, and you need help, that was my last one. It was the Sakai Vapor Waffle, I believe it was called. You don't want to show up now, of course. But yeah, the Sakai Vapor Waffle was the last pair of shoes that I got. See, what was these? I'd say they're pretty dope. It's just they're super, super bulky, super long too. You see look at the back end of the shoe. It's got like 17 different soles on it. it makes them real big. So I mean here's some more pulling up. So look, here's my list. I got those Crimson Pinks, Unions. So that was a big win for me. the Unions for sure was a big win. Jordan 4s, Sakai Waffles, that was another win for me. My homegirl Devin wanted these shoes. I don't even remember what they're called. And then I won some Sakai Blazers as well. So yeah, it looks like they're giving me a lot of love. Oh look, and these animal packs I won, which was, I still have this pair, and these are my dailies right there. And then some black cement 3s. So I mean, you know, like I think that's a good. I think you also have to try. You know, you also have to try. You have to be consistent on trying on every release that you really want your shoes. So I'll use my phone, my wife's phone. You know, it's just trying to do whatever I can to be on top of it. If you haven't signed up for the J23 app, the J23 app is the reason why I scored some of my Off-White Jordan 1s, because they just did for the UNC Off-White Jordan 1s, they just ended up throwing them on the app, and it just said just released, you know. And lucky for me, I had the J23 app that put up there just released Jordan 1 UNC Off-Whites, and I clicked on that link and I scored because of them. So Sadir, that's one thing that you might want to add to your repertoire of sneaker tools, is the J23 app. I got it a long time ago and it was free. I believe now they charge like $1.99, but I still think it's worth the benefit, because sometimes in the morning there'll be restocks, and J23 app is on top of everything. I know for a fact that they do get a portion of the sale. They get like a commission for sending the links or whatever. But whatever, like, you're not paying more money for that release or that restock, and it's certainly, like you just said, not second market prices, man. I feel you on the second market prices, because, like, you know, I've got a family, so like I've got priorities. So when you ask me how do I score, what's my method, I'm just ready at 7 a.m. I'm ready to go. I have my payment methods are already in. So that's one really important thing that I know, that I put my preferred size and my payment method in right away. So like if you have PayPal or if you have a credit card, whatever it is, I have it saved so that, like, as soon as you hit go for your size, the next screen that pulls up usually is your payment method. And if it's already pre-filled, all you got to do is hit order, and then if you have an Apple phone, it'll check your Face ID, or it'll ask you for your password or whatever. I always try to do Face ID on mine, because that's the fastest way. You don't have to type anything in. You're immediately jumping into the payment system, and then you're immediately hitting go. And so I don't know if that helps. It seems to be. I mean, I would say that's a pretty fair amount of wins for me right there. But I think the last one that I won was that Vapor Waffle, which has been quite some time. And I didn't get no exclusive access to the Off-White Lot 50, which kind of sucked. I would have loved to have a pair of those so I could customize them. You know? So hopefully that helps, Sadir. If you need any help with it, just let me know. I'll do whatever I can to help benefit you on getting shoes, especially because I know you're part of the Patreon family as well, man. And I really appreciate you for being on. We do have a lot of really, really cool things coming on. There's some of them are paint tutorials, and some of them are reconstruction tutorials. I was having a conversation with Legacy Colorway Customs the other day, and I know he's very heavily focused on building shoes from the ground up, using the patcher and stuff like that. And I know some of you guys are very like, hey, I'm focused on wanting to learn paint techniques. So I'm trying to develop a good balance between the two. So over the next 3 months or 4 months, you might see, I'll give you an example. This is a great example, actually. You will see these shoes right here. I show you guys how to cut patterns. Let me just move this too much here. I show you guys how to cut patterns out. I show you guys how to get a vintage look onto the actual shoe. I'll show you guys how to get this old vintage looking bottoms. So you can see it says welcome to Miami here. I didn't do the full thing because these glow in the dark. I'll teach you guys how to do this Union zigzag stitch without a zigzag machine. Believe it or not, I did these by hand. It took a long time to do it by hand, but you know what? I feel very proud of the work when it's all done. It looks very symmetrical. So this is a lot of different things I'm showing you guys reconstruction wise. Then we're going to be teaching you things like how to get better detailed portraits, and how to get better in just your painting, hand painting, airbrushing in general. So it'll be a combination of both, guys. So hopefully that helps you, give you guys some more clarification of what's coming up for the Patreon channel. Again, we've got a giveaway coming up as well. So I can't wait to share with you guys a new winner, hopefully. Shout out to all the winners from the giveaways, man. We've given out bundle packs of alpha paint now. We've given out shoelace packs. We've given out stencil packs, and now we're going to be giving away a backpack that you can store 5 sneakers in. So, with that said, it's 7:58. Everybody who's on right now, man, much love to you guys. Thank you guys. Everybody who's on Twitch right now, everybody who's on YouTube as well. And I know Facebook, for whatever reason, it always shows that as 0, but I know there's people on. For some reason, it doesn't connect the number of people viewing. So appreciate you guys. With that said, my name is Suhail with Feel Good Threads, and I'm out of here, guys. Peace.